Welcome to the Scott Townsend Show, brought to you by Dietzo Man Productions.
What would the difference be between Manage Like a Mother and your next book? I know you're not Manage Like a Father, which is what that would be a good sequel. What would the two books? How would the two would they be the same or would they be different?
Some of it, partly, some of the things that I talk about manage like a mother. And obviously, I'm a mother, so that's
Yeah,
what came naturally to me. Part of it would be the same. I think the whole piece about, maybe the nurturing is more a mother thing. And the whole piece about self-confidence I was talking about uh, is maybe different, and that's it. I haven't developed that too much in the book. This is one of my regrets, and maybe that's my Manage Like a Mother 2.0 or
yeah,
my next book, because I think as we leaning more and more towards a more nurturing approach in leadership, I think women are, like I said earlier, are uniquely prepared to be leaders, which begs the question, why do we only have 35% of leaders in the workplace when we actually have parity? We have 50%. I think even now there's a little bit more women than men in the workplace in general, but there's only about 35% leaders that are women and about 22 or 23% when it comes to executive CEO positions. So I think the big difference for me is right there in that confidence, that lack of confidence that women have, and I think, yeah, I think that would be the biggest difference. Um, I think again, because men have this, the alpha thing. I mean, the dominant gene that maybe women don't have. They have different approach to collaborations, and that is something that I think changes the way we work. And I'll tell you, there's a specific thing I'm thinking about. About 10 years ago, MIT did a study, and they stumbled upon something that's not what they were trying to find out, but they just stumbled upon this finding. They were trying to measure the collective IQ of a group. Before, they had always focused on IQ of an individual, but now they were trying to evaluate what happens if we put, people together, we measure their IQ. So they had the individual IQ, and then they would measure the group IQ. So they formed different groups, they gave them tasks and case studies and stuff. And what they found out were three things. The first thing was that if you put people with really high IQs together, it would not necessarily make the group a highly performing group, a group with a really high IQ. Then the second finding was, if in the group there was somebody with a really high IQ, but that person was really, talking about authority, kind of dictating the pace and dominating the conversation, the collective IQ of the group would actually go down. The performance of the group would actually go down. And the third thing, which is really interesting, is that they found that the collective IQ of the group would be really high when there were more women in the group. And that was the finding they were not expecting. And not because women are smarter than men, but because they collaborate better. And maybe because of this lack of self-confidence that they sometimes have, or maybe because of the fact that, like I was saying earlier, they read the signs, they're more on the defensive, they pay attention to what's going on around, and they're more open to constructive criticism, they are more open to other ideas. And as a result, the combination of those skills with the skills of a man made this group highly performing. And that's what I was, my point is always to say, I am not implying that women are smarter than men or they're better leaders than men, but I think they bring different skills to the table. And if we can mesh the two in an even manner, and we can, give more room at the table to women, which a lot of organizations, more and more organizations do now, but there's still some industries where they're really lagging behind. But if we can mesh the two, now we have a winning formula. And we know with younger generations today coming on the workforce, the whole authority down, top down kind of authority doesn't work anymore.
Mhm.
And there's huge pushback, and we're seeing that in every industry. Dan and I, whenever we get involved with clients, whatever culture, whatever industry, it is glaring how the shift that has happened. So it's gonna require more nurturing. And I think the best way to do this is to join forces and make leaders just stronger teams and more powerful and impactful teams.